welcome back to SLR F1. We have got for you tonight the Division 2 race, round 15 of the season at Singapore. I am Ham and I'm joined once again by my brother Jam.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, so a special weekend here at SLR. We are supporting the key workers, as seen in the stream title, and the drivers as well are wearing special helmets. You know, showing a bit of support for any of the key workers that are here in the SLR community. So that's nice to see, especially during these difficult times. But switch back to the main focus for tonight, which will of course be the racing. Um, a really good race last time out at Monza, which was eventually won by Sotia Clock, who got past Top Gun on the final lap of the race. A really nice uh, reverse alternate strategy driven by Clock. Had really strong pace the whole weekend, and he got the rewards for it with that win, and I believe taking the championship lead. So that was really good for him last time out, and just a really good race overall, wasn't it, Jem?
Yeah, it was. It was really nice race to watch. There was some good battles there, some good strategies, especially from Clock and Wrangler. I think he moved up from about 15th to take third. Uh, yeah, a bit bad for Top Gunner because obviously he'd been leading for such a long time. But yeah, Clock just had the pace, did what
Oh,
he needed
what's
to
going on?
do.
Oh, Bean's got
Yeah.
a quali ban, I believe, actually. So I think he's trying to get
Uh,
himself. I think he's trying to get himself disqualified
yeah, I
because
think he
he's
is.
got
Yeah.
a quali ban.
I've just been told, Harry,
So
it's dry all the way. So
dry all the way.
same
I
as
know.
last week.
Lots,
That
yeah, lots of the drivers will be happy to hear that, as well as Singapore is one of the longest tracks on the calendar anyway. So to have the rain here would just be even more challenging and make it an even longer Grand Prix. It's 31 laps here.
mm,
The actual track length itself is relatively short, as Silly Bunny also gets himself disqualified, as both the Haas drivers have quali bans. Yeah, back to what I was saying. The track is relatively short in terms of distance. It's just that it's got a lot of slow speed corners that, despite having quite a few straights, they're not exactly long. So most of the time round this track is going to be spent navigating through the streets of Singapore, and so it means that the lap time itself is sort of a 135 kind of lap time on the softs. In the race, it's more in the 140s. So it means that it's quite similar in comparison to Spa in a degree, in sense, in terms of lap time. So it makes it quite a long race. In fact, I think it's the longest race that we'll have this season.
yeah, I believe so. I remember doing a race a few years ago, personally for me, in the intermediate conditions around here, and it just seemed like it went on forever. But thankfully for the drivers today, it's not going to be that bad. It's going to be dry all the way. But yeah, I think maybe a couple of safety cars or so will be looking at close to an hour for this Grand Prix. So it's a real case of survival of the fittest in a sense. Obviously, you need to keep it out of the barriers, you need to keep your concentration for a long period of time. As we have Monkey, the first driver to start a lap in Q1, Harry.
Yeah, I'm on board with him now. He's navigated the first couple of corners pretty well there. It's quite easy to invalidate on the outside there at turn two, and he's done well so far. He's kept it within the boundaries. The track limits here are slightly interesting, as despite the fact it being a street circuit, and so you wouldn't think you can really extend in too many places, there are a few corners that you can sort of just go over the boundary and get your lap time invalidated. Singapore itself, the first F1 night race, obviously being held in, I believe, 2008. Correct me if
Yeah,
I'm wrong.
that's right, mate.
And now it's the second night race on the calendar, or in terms of where it fits in on the calendar, after obviously Bahrain, which is the second race, and yeah, the second race that we had this season, for that matter. I mean, I personally really enjoy driving this track. I feel like it's a really rewarding track if you can get it right and set set a good lap time. As Monkey seems to be just about doing all right here. He's been a little bit squirmy on exits of a couple of these corners, just slightly too quick on the throttle. But other than that, it's been a pretty nice lap here. He's navigated the corners, I'd say pretty well, considering he's the first driver out. So we'll see what sort of lap time he sets here. He's coming around the final corner now. Another place where, if you're not careful, you can run wide. It's a 37 flat. So Monkey puts himself up into P1.
Hampton straight away beats it, 36.4. I believe the next driver to cross the line will be Predators. We'll see what he can do. It's going to be a 37.3, puts himself into third place. I think that's one of the things we will see this weekend. Quite a few of the people on the pad, I know for a fact that Predators, I feel like they'll be struggling a bit, especially for tyre attempts in the race around this track, and obviously the lesser steering, not being able to keep it out of the walls as well as people on the wheel. But having said that, we'll probably see someone on the pad win the race now.
Yeah, I mean, the safety car percentage, you know, the chance of having the safety car is tremendously high around here, just because of obviously it being a street circuit. It's actually a relatively high speed as well for a street circuit. Like, there are quite a few high speed corners, like, especially sort of through the Anderson Bridge. You know, just for example, like, you're taking that relatively flat out, but it's such a tight, twisty part of the track. You've got to really be careful not to sort of clip the wall with your wheel or something. That's sort of what you're trying to avoid, as Jay Darnell goes fastest there with a 36 flat. And yeah, I mean, it's one of those where I really wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple of safety cars in this race. It'll be interesting to see what the drivers here do strategy wise, as obviously there may be some that feel they need to go on the mediums, or the softs, sorry, to get through to Q3, and that could really prove, well, could be a stroke of genius, or it could prove costly in the race. As like you say, on the tyre temps are just go through the roof after a few laps. Like in terms of one lap, they're fairly manageable, because obviously on your out lap you can kind of manage how like high your temps go, you know, to a degree. But it you know, as soon as you're going sort of race pace, you don't really have any time to sort of calm down and, you know, cool the tyres down. That's when it sort of proves detrimental, really, and your temps can go up to, you know, 115 kind of area, and then you're really in trouble then.
Yeah, I think we're going to go on board with Clock, championship leader here, for a flying lap around the Marina Bay circuit. I'll take it through if you want, Harry.
Here we go. Yeah, go on, mate.
He's going to be braking just before the 50-metre ball. Want to take a nice bit of that inside curb. Got the opposite. He's going to short shift up through the gears, hold it out into 6th. Start it down nicely. You want to watch out for that corner on that wall on exits. It's very easy to run wide into that. Little kink in the straight here. You want to be careful of the inside of that as well, because we have seen people crash there before. Slows it down nicely for the end of sector 1, and now he gets into the twisty technical sector 2. This is where traction and your wings, your downforce, are definitely going to play a big part here. So we see the Red Bull have checked this out, getting out of the way nicely on the left hand side. Now onto the old Singapore sling, and through on towards the Anderson Bridge. Want to watch out for that curb. If you put the power on too early, you will go flying into the wall. Takes him nicely through the hairpin, gets on the power nice and early down to start the third and final sector. Watch out for that wall on the exit as well, because it's easy to go into that one. Now coming up to under the grandstand, pretty tight part of the track here. If you go side by side into here, you'll have to go extremely slowly to avoid contact. Watch out for the curbs here in this final sector. You can lose it quite easily on them. As Clock gets a bit of a moment, but he holds it nicely, and yeah, he's cut too much of that final corner.
It's turned inside too early, didn't he?
That lap would have put him in third place as well, Harry.
Yeah, I'm just switching over to OMH. Yeah, it's a bit unlucky from Clock. He just turned in slightly too early there. He didn't quite push it as much as perhaps he could have done through that penultimate corner. You really want to be getting as close to that wall as possible, albeit maybe he didn't want to run the risk of losing an end plate or what have you. But he did make a little mistake there going under the grandstand. He went in quite deep, and I think it scrubbed off a bit of speed. I'm on board with OMH here as he's just been through the hairpin, and I find that one of the most difficult corners on the track. Really, it's you sort
It's
of
tricky to slow it down into it.
yeah, you're sort of still turning whilst you're braking there, so it's quite easy to lock up as well. Obviously, if you have the ABS off.
Yeah.
Um,
Just going back to Clock's lap, Harry, I think, to be honest, he'll be pretty frustrated with that. I think you want to be trying to get out of Q1 on one set of tyres, and he'll be running a risk now going back out on that used set, as OMH almost loses it over the line, but holds it well, and it's the 37 flat, putting him up into P7. He might have to go again on that time. I'm not too sure what the cut-off will be at the moment, because only 11 of the 18 who will take part have set times.
Yeah, sorry, Jam. I was just on board with Czech there, and just going over the Anderson Bridge, he nearly lost it on the power. He clipped the curb on entry, and that can really throw you out. But it's actually still seemingly a pretty good lap time through the middle sector. But again, he's a bit too quick on the power, nearly losing the back end, sort of over-rotating it really. I mean, you do want a bit of extra rotation through, most of these corners being kind of low speed and quite tight, like right angles. But Czech just pushing the limits a bit too much here. Because yeah, like you say, cut-off's quite difficult to predict at the moment, as first and 11th, so the only guys who have set a lap time are separated by 2.7 seconds, as Czech puts himself up into third. He is the third driver to get below the 36.5 well, benchmark or whatever, what have you. So I'd say that's putting him in a pretty good position at the moment. It's probably too early to say whether that's safe or not, although considering only 12 of the 18 drivers in this session that are able to compete have set laps, I'd say he's looking pretty good. Of course, both the Hasses being disqualified, it means that we're only going to have 3 drivers out in the session. I'm now on board with Ranga, who's not had the best of qualifying sessions these last few weeks, but he's looking pretty good so far. He's another one of the drivers here in Division 2 on the pad, so it'll be interesting to see what tyre strategy he goes for in Q2. But in the meantime,
I'm watching
obviously
interested
looking
ahead
to try
of
and
him,
get out of this Q1 session.
He's set a pretty tidy lap time, and I think it's gonna, P9. It looked clean enough. It was.
Yeah, Ranga's going to go right up to the top here. Yeah, second place for Ranga. So both the Alphas then, they're taking a 1-2 at the moment. Yeah, 36.3 for Ranga. So J. Darnell, the early pace setter, sort of picking up from where he left off last week, obviously. I mean, we were tipping Beast for pole, but J. Darnell managed to nick it there at Monza, and then obviously they came together on the first lap last week. Unfortunately, Beast isn't able to race tonight, which is well, positive for Clock, because obviously he's going to be looking to extend his championship lead. And yeah, Beast has been replaced by Drastic Blaze, I believe, for this race.
Yeah, just looking through the driver lineups. This might be bad, but I can't actually remember the last time I saw Adam Webb's race in a Div 2 race.
Yeah, no, I thought that. I think he's definitely had a few races out here. I know he had a pretty decent start to the season as well.
Yeah.
I remember he picked up a pretty promising result in China. I think it was a 4th or a 5th place. He's down in 16th at the moment, but a few tenths would put him up to, well, around the sort of 12th place mark.
Good to see him back anyway.
Liam is. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's very, very good that we've got a strong leather of drivers. So even if someone can't make a race, we've always got a reserve to step in. So obviously, despite the fact that Adam Webbs hasn't been as active as I'm sure he'd like, he's and Trust has always been joined in the Williams by someone this season. I'm on board with Callum McKeon, although he's on an outlap, I think, so I'll stay on board with him as he goes through this lap. He's obviously not too confident on his 36.8. He's going to look to try and improve here and make sure that he's safe. As he goes through the first couple of corners, he takes them nicely. You do want to try and take as much of that exit curb on the exit of turn 1 as possible, obviously without pushing the limits too much and invalidating. J. Donnell has retired, but that's in the pits. I was getting a bit worried then, but I saw the yellow flags in the pits. As Callum, I believe, is coming out. He is yet to set a time and is in the drop zone. Or is he just coming into the...
No, he's just coming out, mate.
Was he just coming out? Yeah, he's just coming out.
Yeah.
So Adam Webb's, Drastic Blaze, Callum, Matt Beach, Predators, the bottom 5, they're all out. And then you've got the few drivers ahead being entrusted in both the Ferraris. They're all still in the pits, so I'd be... I wouldn't be too surprised if we saw them coming out in a minute. Callum has crashed on his outlap. That's brought out yellow flags. So if he's got damage, he's going to really struggle. Yeah, he's going to really struggle then if he's got damage. As Adam Webbs has unfortunately left the session. I don't know if you can try and get him back in here ASAP, please, Jam. Otherwise, he's not going to have time to get a lap done. I'll switch back now though to Callum McKeon as he invalidates at the penultimate corner. So he won't be improving, as he won't quite have enough time to get back round, although I'd be fairly surprised if he wasn't through to the next qualifying session anyway. We've got the Ferrari of OMH, he's back out. Iceman Liam's still in the pits, so... Or he's just coming out now, I think. I was going to say, I mean, he's got 4 tenths to 16th place, but I mean,
Crispy's on a good one here. Sorry,
in a division as close as this, he's you want to make sure that you're through. As like you say, Crispy is on a pretty good lap at the moment, 3.5 tenths up through the middle sector.
Bit of traffic ahead.
Another one of another driver on the pad here is Callum gets out of the way, so doesn't particularly hold Crispy up. So he comes around the final corner now, the double apex for the final corner, 36.6. Crosses the line, that should be safe, you'd like to think, especially considering Callum is on a lap, but
I think to be honest, 11th downwards, so OMH and 37.0, I think him and anyone else below him, I think they'll be a bit worried. They'll be looking over their shoulder to see what anyone else can do. Obviously one less driver now, because I don't think Adam Webbs has got back in. I have sent him an invite, but he's not going to get out to do a lap anyway, unfortunately for him.
Yeah, so Callum is missing half his front wing, so if he somehow manages to get through here, it'd be a darn good effort if he can get through, but he's hit the wall again there, so it's not looking good. I think he's lost another M plate, and I'd be very surprised now if he were able to get through. It would be an absolutely stunning lap though, I'd have to say, if he did manage to get through. It does mean that the likes of, basically everyone now, from Predators down, is safe, unless everyone from Entrusted down is safe, if although Matt Veach is still in the pits, so
only Drastic Blaze
Predators will be safe. It's only Drastic Blaze.
He'd knock McVeach
anyone out
the Johnson.
He is on a lap here, Drastic Blaze, but he's a couple of tenths down through the first sector. However, he may still be able to find some time here. He only actually needs to gain a tenth, and he would be through into the second qualifying session. Singapore's one of those tracks, I think it's a bit of a Marmite sort of situation. You kind of either love it or you hate it, really. I think a big reason would be sort of to do the equipment that you're on. Obviously, being on the wheel around here is going to be a heck of a lot easier than the controller, as I believe Callum has crashed. But yeah, I mean, still we're seeing some pretty positive lap times thus far in this session, as Blaze, from what I've seen, it doesn't seem like too bad a lap here. It's been pretty controlled. He seemed, almost on rails through that middle sector. So here he comes then, around the final corner, but he's coming into the pits. So he's obviously not up on his lap time, and that is that for the first quali session. A relatively quiet one compared to last week's standards, but we do have to say goodbye here to Drastic Blaze, Adam Webbs, Callum, and then both the Hasses, although they did both have quali bands. And then on the upside, we've seen an Alfa Romeo 1-2 in the first quali session, with Jay Darnell being the early pace setter. And the top 5 is Division, EOR Hamilton, and check this out. So, pretty spread out grid in terms of lap times. I mean, you've got 1.4 seconds covering the top 15. So yeah, as Iceman Liam goes sit there right at the death. So Iceman Liam once again showing some positive pace as he did last week. So there you have it. Those are the lap times there for the first quali session. And I'll hand it over to you, Jam, if you've got any thoughts on what we've seen so far.
Yeah, I think looking at that, Darnell looks like a good shout for pole so far. Obviously, though, the next 2 quality sessions will decide it. If he crashes in Q2, obviously he won't have any chance of pole position. But yeah, it's looking good for Alfa Romeo. They were the big jumpers in the joint constructors last week, so they were looking to continue that good form into this weekend. Another one that interested me as well was Clark. I think he went out. I think he just carried on his old tyres that he'd invalidated his first lap on. So I think he'll have more pace to find later on in the session. He'll obviously be looking to score some good points and capitalise on Beast, unfortunately not being with us this evening. But yeah, I think so far, look, not many drivers putting it in the wall. It's looked pretty clean throughout the first session, so hopefully it continue that way. I think Ferrari again looking strong.
Yeah.
Obviously OMH was 12th, but Liam at the end in 6th. They'll be looking to add to their strong points tally that they scored last race.
Yeah, so we've got a few drivers coming out here straight away. Predators and both the Ferraris I saw on the hard compound tyres. In terms of strategy, it is a one-stop. You're looking at mediums to hards, really. The hards can do quite a lot of laps here. I'm not entirely sure if you'd be able to take them sort of all the way if there was an early safety car. As sort of as soon as your tyres start to go around here, it can be quite detrimental. But the hards do still last quite a long time. I mean, the safety car, chances of a safety car, like I said earlier, are relatively high around here. So starting on the softs may not be the worst idea. If you want to get sort of track position, get a good start, use those soft tyres to your advantage, and then bank on there being a safety car and trying to take the hards to the end. Undercut as well is pretty powerful around here, as sort of once the tyres have gone off, you know, they really go off, and so you can gain quite a lot of time hitting a lap or so earlier. So yeah, we've got Predators, both the Ferraris out. I'll get the tyres up for you. So yeah, it's just a complete mix of mediums and hards at the moment.
I think if anyone does start to go through, or try to get through, sorry, on the softs, we'll really see them struggle early on in the race, unless of course there's a safety car. But I think pitting for the hards early on, you're just going to get stuck in traffic. So personally, I don't think it would be worth the risk. I think you'd lose too much time from doing it. And of course, like you say, tyre temps probably not as bad on the hards. But I think towards the end of the race, sort of tyre-wise, not great around here, so you'd probably be struggling on those hard tyres.
Yeah, tyre temps on the hards and the mediums really aren't the problem. It's generally just the softs. It's the same on quite a few of these tracks. Off the top of my head, you've got Abu Dhabi isn't brilliant for tyre temps, nor is the USA. But I mean, obviously Singapore being a street circuit, it punishes you a lot more if your tyres go off, because obviously one little mistake and you're going to be in the wall. So I mean, from a personal standpoint, you want to stay off the softs, really, because it's just taking that extra risk, but especially at a track like this, you can't really afford to take. Although having said that, a risk could be what wins someone the Grand Prix. So you never know. I may be forced to eat my words later on, but if I was going to predict what the winning strategy would be, I would say mediums to hards.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you on that one, to be honest. I think Predators has been caught by one of the Ferraris quite considerably.
Yeah, it's I believe it's OMH, but don't hold me to that. The Predators will be the first driver to set a lap time here, although I'd be surprised if the next Ferrari doesn't go and absolutely smash it. Yeah, there we go, OMH 6/10 faster. Iceman Liam, the third driver to set a lap 39.8, so I wonder if he's made a bit of a mistake there. Have we got anyone else on a lap? We've got Division in the Toro Rosso. He was up there in Q1, I believe, in 4th place. So he's on a lap now on the medium compounded tyres. I'm just thinking
was on the mediums as well, sorry, Harry.
Yeah, there's a large majority of drivers here on the mediums, so I wonder if they are actually looking at starting the race on soft if possible.
I think if everyone else starts on the softs, then you might as well, to be honest.
Because
you're not going to lose anything from that, are you?
No.
That's a good lap from Darnell.
Gets very much out of the way.
That's only 2 tenths slower than his Q1 time.
Yeah, I was just about to say, it seems like a pretty good lap from the mediums. Off the top of my head, I can't quite remember what I've been doing, but that does seem like a very good lap there, especially for being on controller as well. So, yeah, Darnell once again setting some strong pace as Matt Veach is also up into 5th on a 39.6, and check this out, is second on a 37.7, but 1.5 seconds off. Jay Darnell's clock now goes up into second with a 37 flat, but still 8 tenths off the lap time of Jay Darnell. So
yeah,
just how strong he's looking in these early stages of qualifying.
Either Darnell's just going to do that lap and retire, or he's going to go out on the softs at the end, but I'd be inclined to think that he's going to do what he did in Q1 and just retire.
Yeah, division across the line goes there.
I think, to be honest, that lap will probably be good enough to get him through, even if people are going out on the softs. Jay Darnell's using a wheel, apparently, Harry.
Oh, is
but
it?
Even so, 36.2, that is a very good time.
Yeah, I was going to say, considering he set a 36 flat in Q1 and he was a good few tenths ahead of anyone else, I mean, you'd like to think that 36.2 would get him through the rank, goes third with 37.2. So yeah, Jay Darnell a whole second faster than his teammate Ranga, who was second in the first qualifying session. So, I mean, if I were him, I'd feel pretty good at the moment. But obviously, if everyone decides to go on the softs, it would perhaps put a bit of pressure on him. I am gonna go on board with Callum McKeon. He's in the Racing Point. Done pretty well since his promotion up to Division 2, it has to be said. He got his debut win in Division 2 at Germany a few weeks ago, and he's had a few podiums as well, so the results have been looking pretty promising for him. The last couple of weeks, he got 4th in Belgium, didn't he? But then I don't think he was quite on the pace last week at Monza, if I remember correctly. But he's showing some really strong pace, considering he was in Division 3 at the start of the season. Albeit he was, driving really well in that and getting quite a few wins on the way. So here he goes through the final corner. Pretty tricky corner. I mean, turning in slightly too early or slightly too late can invalidate your lap time, as he goes 8 with a 38.5 on the hards. So he is the fastest of the hard runners, I believe. So he's the quickest of the hard runners. He's up in P8. 3 drivers yet to set a lap. That is entrusted and to Renault.
I think we're getting to the crunch time in this session now, Harry. I think we'll start to see some people going out on the softs. I think track position is quite important on this track. It probably is worth the risk. I don't know though, because they do go off very quickly. I think we will see some people do it, but it's like you said earlier. It's just, is it a risk you're willing to take? Is it worth the risk? I'd say
It's going to be interesting to see.
not, but it wouldn't surprise me
Yeah.
if we saw quite a lot of soft tyre runners towards the end of this session. As the year planning.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who's the instigator really, who's the first one who's going to gamble and try and go on the hards. As J. Darnell does retire, so he's obviously confident that he is going to get through, and I would say that is probably,
I'd agree with that.
you know, justifiable. As Entrusted across the line, 38.1. Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to tell really, because obviously some of these drivers have only set lap times on the hards. So it's really whether like anyone wants to sort of just throw everything down on one lap here and go out on the softs, because I mean you'd imagine that even a fairly conservative lap on the softs would be able to get you through, just judging by the lap times that people were doing in Q1 as opposed to what they've managed here on the mediums and the hards. But obviously the mediums and the hards are the harder tyre compounds, as they are renamed. So the softs around here obviously provide a lot more grip because it's a lot of slow speed traction zones, and so you know you're going to get that benefit of the soft compound tyres. As Ranga does have the soft selected, he is currently still in the pits, but it will be interesting to see if he actually goes out on them.
Yeah,
everyone else has got the mediums fitted, apart from Matt Veach. He's just coming into the pits though.
Got Freeman in the stream chat saying he won't be surprised if we saw some of the softs runners, but like we've said, it's not the best strategy. He's saying the softs aren't actually that much quicker than mediums, which, yeah, I found that when I was practicing early in the week. I think my lap on the softs was only about half a second. My lap was only about half a second quicker on the softs than it was on the mediums. But that might just be me not putting the greatest lap together. But yeah, they die off pretty quickly, don't they? I think it's about 4 or 5 laps from my memory. Top Goon is just setting up. He's lost it over the line.
In terms of tyre wear, the softs, I don't think the wear is like too bad. It's just that as soon as they
temperatures,
through. Division retires from 6th place on the mediums, as Hamilton goes second with a 36.5, so he's the closest challenger to J. Darnell now. But we've got Clock as well now with the softs fitted. If he's going to go out on them, same for Ranga, they've got to be going fairly soon. As Monkey is also now looking to third. Oh no, he was there before, sorry.
Harry,
Liam is on
my mic's
on the mediums.
A bit crackly, so someone in the chat can tell me if it's better now. I'd appreciate that.
I haven't noticed it. But
no, I've just seen Entrusted. Sorry, he's just. Oh, Hamilton went second, of course. Yeah, Entrusted just retired in the pits from P10. He's definitely not safe, I should think. Unfortunately for him, he'll probably be knocked out. I'm looking at tyres fitted. It's only Ranga and Clock both in the pits.
I'm on board with Liam. He's 3 tenths up through the first sector, so yeah, like I say, he obviously didn't push it to the full extent on his first lap. 5 drivers go out in this qualifying session, of course, so it leaves us with the top 10 for the top 10 shootout, Q3. As Entrusted has now been demoted down to P11 as Predators, I believe, puts himself up into P9, although considering you've got the likes of Callum McKeon, OMH, Matt Veach and Iceman Liam all outside the top 10 and on laps or on out laps, you'd imagine that Predators is in a bit of a precarious position here, as is, check this out, and probably Top Gooner and even Division really at this rate. Ranga has retired as well in the pits on his 37.2, so he didn't decide to go out on the softs, and no one actually for that matter has decided to go out on the softs as Clock is also still in the pits.
I think
The
Liam
top
could be moving out the
5,
bottom 5 here, Harry. Sorry.
yeah, the top 5, Crispy to J Darnell, they're all safe. Liam crossed the line on a 36.9,
nice
puts
lap.
himself up into P4.
He needed
So
that.
check this out, and Predators, both the Red Bulls now, they're on the bubble. In fact, Czech is actually down now into the drop zone, so it'll be a question of, well, pretty much one-shot quali here for both the Red Bull drivers. Can they do the lap time that will get them out of the bottom 5? Callum McKeon is also on a lap, as is
I believe it's OMH.
Yeah. OMH is invalidated. He's invalidated. He was 6 tenths up through the first sector, but he's invalidated his lap. Unfortunately, he's not
McVeach then first of this bottom
quite
5
get round for another.
Across the line.
Yeah, so I'm on board with McVeach. That's unfortunate for OMH, who's now binned it as well.
That's gonna
not great. I mean, I don't want to be too critical, but if he's invalidated his lap, to carry on pushing does seem a little bit, you know, bad. Especially considering that has perhaps hampered people's laps, although having said that, McVeach is nearly a second up through the middle sector, but he's still got to find another 4 tenths at least, another 5 tenths at least in this final sector. Predators crossed the line, but he's not improved. So it's down to McVeach and Callum McKeon.
I can imagine if McVeach doesn't get through here, he'll probably be quite annoyed with OMH there.
Crosses the line, 37.5. He has squeezed into 10th, but Callum McKeon now.
I think he's up.
He's only a 10th up. He's only a 10th up though. I don't think this will be enough for Callum McKeon. No, it's not going to be. It's a 37.6. It's P12. For the Racing Point driver,
it's very close.
And that does mean that McVeach is through.
Now checks on the lap rate, 7 tenths up.
Then checks on a lap. Oh, I've completely missed him. So ignore that. Check is on a lap, 7 tenths up, and yeah, so he could be the driver then to knock McVeach out. He's gonna be demoting his teammate a place as well, but I'm sure he won't be particularly bothered about that. Coming across the line now, what is it? It's a 36.9, it's P4 for check this out. He is through to the top 10 shootout, and it does come at the expense of McVeach, who got a little bit hampered on his lap by a OMH in the middle of the track. But there you have it then. J Darnell once again top of the timing list in Q2. He would be my bet for pole. I want to see predictions in the chat, please. But the 5 drivers leaving us then in this quali session, it's McVeach in the Mercedes, ARL Predators in the Red Bull, Callum McKeon in the Racing Point, and Trusted in the Williams, and OMH in the Ferrari, who unfortunately invalidated his final run, and so he only managed to set that 1 lap on the hards.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, predictions for pole. I can't see anyone but J Darnell at the moment, although we said that about Beast last week and we were proven very much wrong there. So
yeah, Freeman saying Darnell. Callum McKeon not too happy with OMH. Understandable, I'd say, really. He's saying they lost about 9 tenths from that. Preds isn't happy with McVeach. Not quite sure what that's about. So we have Darnell saying J Darnell will get pole with ease. I presume that'll be the older Darnell saying the younger Darnell's going to get pole. Smoke saying an Alpha 1-2. Freeman saying Darnell. We're saying Darnell. So it probably won't be Darnell. Nah, I can't see it being anyone else, to be honest, unless he makes a serious mistake.
Odds are looking like a 1-to-1 at the moment then for J Darnell to take pole.
Yeah, no one else saying anything different.
Man out on track, so his teammate in the other Alpha. You've got time really for two sets of tyres. I mean, you could go for multiple runs on your first set or your second. So I'd say really you've got time for 3 laps using 2 sets of tyres. But I mean, really, you want to be using just the one, doing just the one lap. Sorry, as obviously the tyres will be more optimal there. Clock has actually overtaken Ranger on his outlap here, so Clock's obviously not messing about. He wants to get a lap time down early and put his name into the hat here for pole position. Kind of went a little bit under the radar last week in terms of qualifying pace, but then really shone in the race, obviously taking the win. What was the podium last week? Clock, Top Gooner, and Ranger, yes. So, I'm sure Ranger will obviously be looking for another positive result as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think, to be honest, from Clock's perspective, a bit like my own, obviously, in Div 1, I think if he can outscore, well, obviously Beast's not here, so if he can get any sort of points, that's going to be a big boost for him in the championship.
Ranger's lost it, or slowing down, sorry.
Oh, I was getting a bit worried.
I think he's just slowing down. Yeah, I think he was just slowing down, but it did worry me for a second when I saw an alpha and yellow flags there in the final sector, as Ranger's made a little bit of a habit in recent weeks of crashing in qualifying. As I'm going to go on board with Clock here, who is on a lap. He's going to be the first driver here to set a flying lap in this Q3 session. Going through the first sector now, 26.5 is the split. It's looking pretty good so far. Using pretty much all the track available there on exit. Gets it turned in nicely as well. I don't know any of the corner names, nor do I know the numbers. So, yeah, I'm going to have to apologise for that. But he comes through the Singapore Sling, that's the one I do know. He's taking this pretty nicely. You can take quite a bit of that curb on that corner there, there's sort of chicane, but obviously if you take too much you will invalidate. Slows it down well again for the hairpin. Decides to keep it in second instead of putting it down to first to get that extra rotation. Check this out, has backed out on his lap, so he's obviously made a mistake somewhere. Looking pretty good though so far for Clock. Through the middle sector, it's been pretty clean so far. You want to take as much curb as you dare through here without invalidating. Again, see how he does. You can really cut that inside there, but obviously it depends how brave you want to be getting up close and personal with the walls. Again, another one of these chicanes where you can take a hell of a lot of the curves on the inside. Pushes it out pretty far wide on exit as you want to be doing. Takes the final corner very nicely there. It's a 36 flat for Clock.
Just behind him is going quicker. He was quicker through sector 2.
Crispy hasn't validated though.
So that's unfortunate.
It will not matter. Division is on a lap. He's coming up to the line now. It's not going to be pole. It's going to be a 36.6 and second place for him.
Ranger's invalidated.
Ranger's invalidated. Jadon Nell is on a lap, so it'll be interesting to see what he can do here.
Liam coming to the line, Harry.
Final couple of corners now.
Liam goes third.
Liam 37.2. Jadon Nell now coming up to the line. It's going to be a 35.
Wow.
35.2 from Jadon Nell. What a lap from him. Puts himself P1 on the grid. 0.8 up on the lap time of Clock. And once again, Jadon Nell showing just what he can do. Really stretching his legs here out in front. Another big gap to his nearest competitor. Have we got anyone else on a lap here? Hamilton was, but he's invalidated. As yet, Top Gooner then. Another strong showing from him, getting through to Q3 once again. He was obviously unlucky not to get the win last time out of Monza. He really perfected the start on the soft compounded tyres. Got into the lead after that collision between Beast and Darnell. And, well, never looked back really until Clock was in his mirrors on the last few laps, hunting him down, and unfortunately Top Gooner was really unlucky not to get the win, but still a strong showing from him, and P2, so solid points for him and for Renault. As I believe everyone else on a lap has either invalidated it or is on an out lap. We got Monkey and Ranger both on out laps. Ranger's come back out after he invalidated his first lap. I'll go on board with Monkey as he is going to be the first of the second crop of drivers to set a lap, as Hamilton I think has just hit the wall in front.
alligator anyway. He's down. He's not
Yeah.
really second.
Hamilton's been showing pretty strong pace as well here though, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see him sort of squeeze in between the lap time of Clock and Darnell at some point in this quali session, as he has been up there, and obviously there is quite a big gap in between Clock and Darnell, as is the between Clock and Division for that matter. So really we could see a few drivers sort of nestling into the sort of third or second position, depending on what the lap time is. I'm on board with Monkey now in the McLaren. He's been another driver here who's been setting some pretty decent lap times thus far. Going through the first sector here, doesn't be quite as committed as perhaps some of the drivers, although having
Up on Clock's first sector.
pretty good first sector. I think it's just one of those tracks really, like Monaco, like Baku, you've just really got to be committed here, and that's where you're going to find the lap time. It is who can sort of push it to the limits, as a Monkey went in a little bit deep into one of those corners there in the middle sector.
As
Those are done nicely though for the hairpin.
Julian Palmer once said, Harry, you've got to be alert on a street circuit. That's quote of the day.
So we've got Monkey on a lap, Ranger's on one as well, I believe, on that. Yeah, Crispy's on that lap as well, so we'll get over to Crispy because Ranger's validated. We'll get over to Crispy then once Monkey has done his lap. Crispy was another driver really unlucky last week. He was showing some really strong pace after not a great showing qualifying. He managed to fight his way back up into the top 3 as Monkey does put himself in between Darnell and Clock with a 35.6. Yeah, Crispy was really strong in the race. He got himself up to about P2 or P3 I believe, and then unfortunately had connection issues, and that completely ruined his race. But he's been pretty good the last few weeks. He won in Belgium of course, and he's still just about within a sniff of the title here. He's obviously got to start making up some points on Clock sooner rather than later, but I really wouldn't count him out at this current moment in time. He's about to start his lap, so we'll stay on board with him if you want to take us through it, Jack.
Certainly. So, full commitment is needed around the final corner to get a good start to your lap. You want to shift up to 7th, hold it out, and then shift down to 3rd or 4th for the first corner. Chooses 4th, and then I'd go into 1st. Yep, he does short shifting up. Nice from Crispy there as he heads down onto Raffles Boulevard. There's a DRS, nice and early, and now full commitment down the little kink in the straight. He's matched Clock in the first sector, I believe. Sorry about that. Ew. Yeah, that was committed there, right on the edge. Oh, he's hit the wall, going into the wonderful sling. I wish they'd kept that chicane. Might have seen
Make
someone
the track even longer.
go flying. Could have made for an interesting racing though. I think he'll carry on.
It doesn't seem as though he's got any damage actually. Yeah, it doesn't seem like he's got any damage.
Yeah, he's kept it going nicely despite that little tap with the wall. Want to ride the curbs here. You can put quite a lot of that curb on the left hand side as we now go under the grandstand. Want to watch out for that wall on the exit as well. It's quite easy to pick up some damage. And obviously this corner, now he's got to be committed once again through the final corner, which he is.
Yeah, that's
he
pretty
comes to
good.
the line. Yeah, nice lap there from Crispy. Puts in P4.
Clock's on a lap as well, but he's a 10th down through the first sector. The only other driver that's, well, actually, Division's on lap. He's 6 tenths up here. So Division is looking really strong. Iceman Liam, I believe, is also on a lap. So we'll try and get over to him as well, as we haven't really seen too much of the Ferraris at the moment. Division looking really good, though. He's really throwing it around here and really getting up close and personal with the walls. But that's where you're going to find the lap time. He's already started derating though, that's not ideal, as he is going to be losing a little bit of time here through the final couple of corners, but he comes across the line. What is it? A 35.8, and that is P2 as it stands for division. Liam's made a bit of a mistake. P3, yeah. Sorry.
Liam hit the
even in the middle sector. Oh, that's not great. He is even through the middle sector. Not got any damage, but like you say, if he's hit the inside wall there, that's going to screw off quite a bit of time. He's got to gain 5 tenths to move up just the one position, so it looks like a bit of an ask at the moment. I wouldn't be surprised if possible he tries and goes again, back-to-back laps. He crosses the line 37 flat, he doesn't move up.
No, he's not going again.
Put it down into none, and unfortunately that is going to be the best that Iceman Liam can manage. Bit of a shame, because he had been showing some pretty strong pace in the first couple of quali sessions, as he did last week, but unfortunately not quite able to replicate it this time out. Jay Darnell is on another lap, as is Ranga and Czech. I'm going to watch Czech because he's not actually set a lap at the moment, and unless someone can pull out a miracle, pull a rabbit out of a hat here, I think Jay Darnell is looking pretty good to take pole position, his second pole in a row. Hopefully it won't end quite as badly as it did last time, as Hamilton was unable to set a lap time. He invalidated once again. I'll get on board with Ranga, as he is actually slightly ahead of Czech on track. He's coming through the final sector now.
Middle sector split looked good, Harry.
Alright, so we can see Ranga then moving himself up perhaps into the top 3, do you think?
I think
got across the line, but he can't improve. Jay Darnell
can't improve top 5 here, as soon as he gets
either.
it clean to the final sector.
Yeah, Ranga is coming through the final corner now. Takes that well. He's coming across the line. 36 flat. It's P6 then for the Alfa Romeo driver. Check this out. Across the line. 35.4. P2 then for Check This Out.
And that's it.
Exactly what he did in the second quali session, which was leave it very late, but then set a very good lap. So it is going to be Jay Darnell on pole, his second pole position in a row. So he's not slouching about, he's not messing around here, he's obviously staying committed, getting that practice in, and it's obviously paying off, as once again he's going to be starting on the front row of the grid, and he's going to be joined on that front row by, check this out, who left it late in the session, but he managed to set a very strong lap time of a 35.4 and put himself into P2. Third place is Monkey in the McLaren. He set that lap time fairly early on and then was unable to beat it, as we found with quite a few drivers. Top Gooner once again in the top 5 on the grid, as he was last week, so he'll be looking for another strong result. Division 5th, and he's joined on the 3rd row by last week's race winner of Sotia Clock, and then I believe it was Ranga 7th with Iceman Liam alongside him.
Hamilton 9th.
And then Crispy
10th,
sorry, was P8, Liam, and then Hamilton 9th and 10th. Both Liam and Hamilton were fighting out on track last week at Monza, actually, for one of the podium positions at one point, and then Hamilton lost out to Ranga on penalties, I believe, for the podium. But there you have it then. We have got Jay Darnell on pole for the second week in a row here. He is P1 for the Singapore Grand Prix in SLR Division 2. We will be having a 5-minute break here, but during that 5-minute break, I want to see the you guys' predictions for the race winner here in the chat. There's 30 of you watching, so I'd like to see some predictions, please, for the race winner. In terms of your own prediction, Jam, who would you be putting your money on if you were a betting man?
I think it's hard to look past Darnell, to be honest, but I think I'd like to see Check This Out getting up there as well. He obviously set a a very nice lap there at the end of quali. Just going to check what tyres. Oh yeah, so the whole of the top 10 on medium tyres, obviously, as they got through from Q2 on those. I think, to be honest, Singapore was one of these races where anyone could win, really. Just a safety car or an incident early on, and it could really
Yeah,
mix up the
well-timed
field.
safety car would really help you, wouldn't it? I mean, especially if you're if you're Fernando Alonso, going back to the 2008 race, obviously
Yeah.
the extremely controversial Crashgate scandal, as it were. I'd be
Hopefully
very
we don't see one
surprised
of
if
them
we
today.
saw. Yeah, I'd be very surprised if we saw something of the same nature tonight. Although you never know. I mean, could see a teammate doing his teammate a solid and, and bring out a safety car.
With
In terms of my prediction for the race winner, I'd like to see what Klopp can do down in P6. Obviously, the race winner last time out. Um, like I say, the undercut here is pretty powerful. So that could prove to be quite good. Everyone outside the top 10 is on the hards. Adam Webbs, I don't think, has managed to get back in. Being Emotional is also not on the grid. So that's slightly concerning. We got Freeman and Dark Zenon in the chat. Freeman's also predicting Darnell to take the win. He says he's been controlling every single session and been showing good pace. But he would also like to see a good battle for the lead. So there's his call to check and Tuna and Monkey, the sort of top four there. He wants to see you lot pushing Darnell all the way throughout this race. Dot Zenon as well in the chat. He's predicting a lot of carbon fibre to be flying around here. So he thinks that at some point the top 10 is going to be mixed up quite a bit. And I would be very surprised if the top 10 remained the same, in the sense that, well, the 10 drivers that are in the top 10 are all still in it at the end of the race, not necessarily in the same order. But that would be, well, very surprising, just considering the fact that it is Singapore, and obviously, well, pretty much anything can happen, as we got a couple of drivers outside the top 10 going on to the mediums. They're being OMH and Callum McKee, and everyone else still looking at the hards. I'm going to go for a minute, but I will be back shortly.
I don't think. Does this one work? Yeah, I think it does. I'll see if it's any good. Yeah. Here we go. I've got a bold prediction. If anyone couldn't hear me, I've just had to swap headsets. Sorry about that. From some technical difficulties. Hopefully, I'm crackling less than I was before. But I'm gonna go out on a whim and say someone outside. As we get underway for the formation lap, Darnell leading us. check this out in second, leaving it late again in qualifying, but putting in a very nice lap to get into P2. Looking third for McLaren. I should imagine we'll be getting quite a bit of support from there, and I saw Steve-O earlier rooting for McLaren. Top Gunner in fourth, another strong showing from him. Obviously, so close to the win last week, of course. We'll be keeping a close eye on him. Division looked pretty quick throughout the whole of qualifying. He's up in P4 position out in at least the last two quality sessions, as far as I can remember. Crispy in P8, he'll be needing to get some good points on clock here to claw his way back into this championship fight. Liam in ninth, Ferrari, he'll be looking to score some good points to add to his total last week. Hamilton in 10th for the second week in a row, not setting a valid time in qualifying 3. Beach 11th. Starting on hard
First of the hard runners.
Yeah.
First of the hard runners. 5 drivers then have opted for the hard compound tyres.
Can you
beach and
can you say if I'm any better, Harry? Sorry.
Yeah, you sound better, mate.
Right.
We have managed to get the Bean is in the race. It says we've got 20 drivers, but we're missing Adam Webbs.
Yeah,
so that's a shame for him. But we do have 19 drivers. Freeman in the chat as well saying it'll be interesting to see how the Haas drivers do, both starting on the back row. I mean, from a personal standpoint, being a Haas driver myself, I obviously want to see a Haas 1-2. Although considering they are both starting at the back, that does seem pretty unlikely. But you never know. You never know. They've opted for split strategy as well, that being City Bunny on the hards and being on the mediums. But we are just about ready. The drivers have lined up on the grid. It is Jay Darnell on pole with, check this out, alongside him. It is the Singapore Grand Prix for SLR Division 2, and it is 5 red lights, and it's lights out, and away we go. Crispy's got a drive through. That's going to be really crucial.
He went very early
in his championship challenge. Darnell gets away nicely. Check and Monkey side by side into turn 1, and there's a bit of contact. Check, I think, just about managing to muscle his way past him, but he has hit the wall on the exit. I don't know if he's got damage from that, but it didn't seem great. He doesn't appear to have any visible damage. Division has got past Top Gunner here, and Monkey is alongside Check. He goes up the inside here into the second sector. He gets the move done. Checker nearly losing the back end. Ranga's into the wall. Ranga's out. He's into the wall. I think he made contact there with the Renault of Top Gunner, and Ranga's out. That's a safety car then. Oh, that was a big impact into the wall for Ranga. I think he made contact with the Renault of Top Gunner, but I'm not entirely sure. In terms of positions, what people have made up here, the biggest gainer out of all of that is OMH. He's gone up 5 positions. Icalum as well, going up 4. So really good start there for OMH. He's joined his teammate Iceman Liam there in 9th and 10th. Big losers in Trusted and Predators both losing 3 positions. And obviously Ranga is out. Really unfortunate there for him. I think it was Top Gunner who made contact with Ranga. Darnell has left the session. We need to get him back in.
Yeah, Ranga said he got a big whack from Top Gunner, but obviously it'll be interesting to see both perspectives of that incident. Also, pointing out, Preds never seems to make a good start here. He's kept it clean, but he's lost multiple positions again. He seems to do that quite often.
Yeah. Bean has made up 4 positions as well, in fact, and Jurassic Blaze has made up 3. Monkey made a really good start there. He managed to get himself ahead of Czech. I don't want to blame Top Gunner because he was definitely going side by side with Division for quite a lot of the lap there. So I didn't quite manage to catch it, but I did see a bit of contact being made there. But I'm sure it wasn't deliberate.
We've got
you'd like to think so.
Predators
Have you
taking a
managed
gamble,
to send
Harry.
Donnell an invite?
I have, yeah. We've got Predators taking a gamble as well onto the hard tyres. He'll be looking to take them to the end of the race. If this works out for him, we could see it. We could see Predators with a great result. So I might have spoken a bit too soon there, saying that he's not got a great start. He could be flying up the pack during this race. Yeah, I've invited Darnell back, so hopefully he can get in, because that would be pretty good for him if he wasn't able to. Obviously, after the lap 1 incident last race when he qualified on pole.
Really lost out on the chance to take the win last week after being hit from by Beast. Obviously not deliberately, but still a very annoying if you're Jay Darnell. He has been invited back, so it's a question of whether he is able to get back in. So in terms of the order, the top 10 hasn't changed too much, obviously, apart from Ranga being punted into the wall. So he's down, well, he's out of the race, sorry. Predators has gone down 6, like you say, but he has pitted. So Donnell's internet has gone down, apparently. Oh, that is rotten luck. His internet's gone down, so he's going to try and get back in as soon as possible here. The safety car isn't coming in just yet, so he's got a couple of minutes at least to try and get back in. Callum's got a 10-second time penalty for exceeding track limits, so he's been sort of putting the corners under the safety car, which isn't really necessary. But Callum Keane has also done the same as Callum's got another one. So Callum, in the space of 5 seconds, has picked up 15 seconds of penalties. Drastic Blaze as well, getting a 10-second penalty. So there's 3 drivers there with a fair few seconds of penalties. Scott in the chat, he's sharing his opinion on trying to do 30 laps on the hards. It is possible, but your rears will very much be wanting to not be on the car anymore at the end of the race. Let's put it that way. It is definitely a rear heavy track in terms of tyre wear, because obviously a lot of it is sort of traction, trying to pull out of the corners, and so the rears will be getting the brunt of the wear. As well as that, there aren't really too many sort of high speed corners, and so the fronts don't have to work quite as hard. We need to try and get Jay Darnell back in.
He's still offline at the moment, as far as I can see.
Merckx is asking what happened at the start as Callum gets another time penalty. So Callum has now got 25 seconds of penalties. Merckx asking what happened at the start. It was relatively clean up until Ranga and Top Gunner came together. Top Gunner was fighting division and then came together with Ranga, and unfortunately Ranga got sent into the wall at the start of sector 2, and he ended up getting taken out. The safety car is in this lap. Jay Darnell needs to get back in right now if he's going to take the safety car restart himself, otherwise it will be his AI doing it, and that gives Monkey a terrific chance to try and get back past. Beam is up 5 places now then into 15th, so from a personal standpoint, pretty pleased with that from one of the drivers. So it'll be interesting to see how this safety car restart is done. Darnell's got his internet back, so if you can get him in now, please, Jam.
I sent him about 5 invites.
He should get in now. He should hopefully be back in then if he's been given a fair few invites. So here we go then on the restart. The AI of Jay Darnell has made a terrific restart and he is back in. Perfect timing here. Division Monkey, will start to catch him up, but I think he should just about manage to get back in.
He's been to the pits, Harry.
A little bit, trying to warm up his tyres. Crispy has pitted. I want to, if you can keep an eye on what tyres he goes on to there, that would be useful, please, Jam.
Sleeping on the inside of Entrusted.
He should be back in control of his car. I'm going to get over to that. Yep, Silly Bunny then
for P15.
Looking to try and make the move on Entrusted. We're going side by side here round the first few corners. Entrusted back up the inside. Silly Bunny's going to look and try and get it back on the switchback, but he's not quite going to get the speed on exit, and it means that Entrusted does hold on to 15th place. Darnell's back in, so I'd like to imagine that his AI is still driving, but he's gone straight on. He's gone straight on when he's trying to take back control of his car. Oh no, it's what happened to Youngie at Belgium. I think his wheel wasn't connected. He's gone straight on. I don't know if he's got damage, but that is awful.
Crashed.
Check this out. Has retired. He's crashed.
Anderson Bridge.
At the Anderson Bridge, has he? Oh, that should be... yeah, it's a VSC then. But that is awful for Jay Darnell. He's actually lost out to Predators who's pitted. So that's even worse for him, really. Jay Darnell then... Oh, that is rotten luck. Crispy gets
so many penalties coming through, Harry.
The VSC.
Top good hit, checks, crashed the car as well.
Darnell has gone straight on again at the hairpin as well. So I don't quite know what's going on with him there, but that is awful. Yeah, I feel for him really. It's just one of those things that there's not much you can do about it.
At the front.
Yeah, Monkey is, well, yeah, Monkey and Division for that matter have just both pulled away massively here.
Division must have
the fastest
jumped
lap
on that safety car restart, surely. He set the fastest lap, the people behind would have beaten him.
Yeah. Yeah,
Top doing pits with damage after that collision.
iCallum's got up 9 positions, but he has got about 30 seconds of penalties. It's going to be really difficult to sort of get a grasp of the finishing order due to sort of what penalties everyone's got. Jay Darnell pits as well as
hit the wall.
Surface drive through. iCallum has hit the wall. And Predators is really making up some ground here. He's having a look up the inside of Silly Bunny here. Is he going to go up the inside into the next corner? No, he thinks better of it. He's obviously the first driver out of those who have pitted, so he's in a pretty good position. Albeit there is a bit of a train form behind Matt Veach, who's made a mistake and lost half his front wing. It's allowed Bean through. Bean's up 12 positions. What a start from him. Both the Ferraris as well, absolutely flying. In fact, everyone inside the top 11 has gained positions from the start. Mavic doing the sensible thing there, really, and getting out of the way, as obviously he is still in the race. Having a collision with someone could put him out of the race, and considering he's got wing damage, I'm sure he would rub someone up the wrong way if he came into contact with them. So yeah, everyone inside the top 11 has gained a fair few positions off the start, but it is Monkey and Division here just pulling away out in front. The gap to them hasn't really changed, but Division's gap to clock has gone up by a second as one of the Ferraris has gone straight on now. OMH has gone straight on in the third sector, and he's
got to wait
a little bit stuck down there. Going to be a bit of a sort of Austin Powers moment, I think, in the runoff. As Bean is now up 13 positions, so what a start from the Haas driver. I'm really loving this. As Silly Bunnies are also up 9. Predators in a really strong position though, being the first of the drivers to pit.
Yeah, I was about to
see
say,
where
Harry,
the front two come out in relation to that, but still, I mean, he's up,
I think it's
up
about
11. Already
it's quite a long pit lane. It's about 27 seconds, I believe. So we're going to see Predators, I think, at least inherit P3 here. I'm
sorry, but Ican's got another penalty. He's got about 30 seconds of penalties now. He must be quite close to being disqualified, you'd think. As Drastic Blaze and Silly Bunny here battling it out for P9. Bunny moves to the outside, sweeps right across Drastic Blaze, but Blaze gives him ample room there, and it was, yeah, like you say, a pretty nice move there. So Silly Bunny up into P9, and I'm sure Predators will want to try and clear Blaze relatively quickly here, as to not lose too much time. There is quite a big gap though already formed between Callum McKeon and Bean. That's 5.5 seconds nearly. So there's sort of not a train as such, but a bit of a group here with a clock to Callum McKeon. Obviously OMH was in that group until he went straight on in the final sector. We've got Monkey extending his lead. Monkey's extended his lead to Division by about a second. So he's really showing some strong pace at the moment out in the front.
It's a flying Dutchman
Division
at the front.
sets the fastest lap though. Yeah, Division sets the fastest lap though. Monkey's got himself a penalty. So that could prove to come back and haunt him towards the end of this race here. Predators is now right on the back of Drastic Blaze. I wonder if we're going to see a move here. OMH is actually going up the inside of Predators. OMH obviously on
late.
mediums. Yeah, squeezes Predators out a little bit, but he does get the move done there. Dives at the inside into turn 1. Predators has got the DRS, as has OMH on Drastic Blaze, and Silly Bunny has pulled away considerably from Blaze, so he's not going to get the DRS here. It's going to mean that OMH is going to get a pretty good run. Crispy is out. I think he's crashed into the pits or around the final corner. I wonder if we're going to see any sort of safety car for that. Yes, we have. We've got a safety car. Oh, and that is... Well, that's really going to ruin Predator's race here as he pitted. But I think the likes of Monkey and Division will get out ahead of him. Monkey and Division have got to pit, and Trusted picks up a penalty for speeding under the safety car. And I think I'm going to look at the tyres now, but you're gonna see the top 7 pitting for the hards, as well as probably OMH. It means that the drivers who started on the hards, them being Entrusted, Silly Bunny, Drastic Blaze, they're all in a bit of a sticky situation here. I mean, the mediums won't last 24 laps. They could probably do I'd say about 18 maybe, but
I think
yeah, as we see the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
the top 2 are definitely going to get out
pit.
ahead of Predators, I should think, but I'm not sure if anyone after that will. I think Clock's going to get held by
Bean
Monkey as
stays
well
out.
on the pits.
Oh, what's he doing? Bean stays out.
He's on hards, isn't he?
No, he's on medium.
Oh,
he's obviously not listening to Gunter's post pre-race strategy.
OMH stays out as well on mediums.
OMH also stays out, but it does mean that Predators is
Net
going
P2.
to come out in a net P2. Wow, so it nearly worked. I mean, he's only a couple of seconds actually behind Monkey, who is in a really strong position now. This is of course going to be helping tyre wear, especially for those like Predators. I just don't get why, if you've been and OMH, you didn't pit there for the hards. Obviously Silly Bunny started on the hards, so he'll be able to take them all the way, or at least he would if he didn't have to pit again. We got a few guys in the chat here.
Yes.
Darnell, yeah, his wheel just wasn't working. Bean up to 9th, he's now in 1st, and obviously a bit annoyed with him in a jokey sort of way. I just don't think that was the right call to stay out there, but I may be proven wrong. Darnell might be back in the race here. Maybe he's going to be in a net P10. 10?
Yeah, 10th. Yeah.
And Trusted's on the mediums, so actually that could be bugger for him if he can take them all the way. He's in a net P11 really, considering everyone else has pitted. Or no, net P10. Sorry, yeah, you're right. Net P10.
Interested tyres won't last 20 laps though, will they?
I'd
21,
be surprised. They're not
22 laps.
Well, they certainly wouldn't be brilliant at the end.
Maybe he's gambling on another safety car.
Well, yeah,
wouldn't
if it
be
was a BSC
surprised.
or another safety car, like you say, they would definitely last. As the safety car stays out another lap, Bean does pit this time.
OMH pits as well.
Oh, so they've obviously messed up there a little bit, unfortunately, in not pitting the first time. It does mean that Darnell is going to be now into P11. Oh yeah, Bean and OMH have really shot themselves on the foot there. Well, I think Bean would have come out in about P8 or so, P8, P9, something like that. He's really shot himself in the foot there. As is OMH, not pitting the first time around, but you never know. Like, it could help them in a sense if they're in clean air, or not if there's an incident up ahead. As Silly Bunny then does take the race lead. although he does still have to pit. So the order in terms of stops is Monkey is first, then it is Predators and Division. They are your top three. Fourth is EOR Hamilton. Fifth, Iceman Liam. Sixth, City of Clock. Seventh, Callum McKeon. 8th Entrusted, 9th Top Gooner, 10th J Darnell. So J Darnell will be into the points when Silly Bunny pits, but that probably won't be until around lap 17.
He'll go longer now, really gone to softs at the end, I think, Harry.
Do you reckon? Yeah, that could be an idea, especially if there's a VSC or something quite nicely timed for him. So yeah, it's pretty much everyone now up one position and Silly Bunny down 15, although obviously that's probably not going to be the case when he does come into pit. But as it stands, if he were to pit, that would be the order. Now at this moment in time, Monkey is looking in a pretty good position, but obviously there's still 22 laps to go, so I'm not going to speak too soon, but he is the first of the drivers to not pitted. Predators in third, which will become a net P2. He's looking pretty good as well. It's just whether those hards will be able to last.
Looking at the fastest laps quickly, Harry. Division has a 39.3 on his mediums. He's 2.5 seconds quicker than the second fastest lap, which is OMH of 41.8.
Wow.
So Division seems to have some really good pace. We've got
as we're restarting, Jam.
Got a question in the chat about what happened to check this out. He unfortunately crashed at the Anderson Bridge, and that's what brought out our first safety car, I believe. But yeah, as you say, Harry,
Division looking up the inside of Predators into turn one on the restart. Predators trying to hold it around the outside. Division up the inside into turn two, and he gets the move done. So very good move there from Division on the restart. That demotes Predators down to P4, and he's now got EOR Hamilton right up against him, and it looks as though Hamilton might go for a move here. He's thinking about it, but he does think better of it. Silly Bunny remains out in front. Iceman Liam in 6th with Clock just behind him. Bunny is in the lead on the hards. It's going to be interesting to see what his pace is like. If he sort of backs the pack up, holds them all up a little bit, then that might sort of, well, that could really slow the pace down. It might not actually be ideal for him. I mean, he wants to really try and pull away if he can, and obviously build a gap. But when he's got Monkey behind him, he's been showing really good pace here. I'd be surprised if Bunny's going to be able to hold on to the leaders. Monkey's right on the back of Silly Bunny now. Not really an overtaking as well.
Dives at the inside. Sorry to cut you out there, Harry. It's getting feisty for P10 here. I think Darnell's got the pace on Top Gooner, but it's just whether or not he can make the move steer.
The corner to try and make the move. Top Gooner, and Matt Beach tries to go up the inside there. That's not really an overtaking spot. And then he hits the wall going into the grandstand. He's out. OMH lands outside, and there's a VSC.
I think OMH got away without damage there as well.
Yeah, that was a little bit opportunistic from Matt Beach, shall we say. It's not really an overtaking spot, and he tries to capitalise on Darnell being slightly compromised there, trying to get past Top Gooner, but really the move wasn't on, and he's tried to sort of put his foot in the door there, and he's really ended up having the door slammed in his face, and he's ended up being the big loser from that. So the VSC does give Silly Bunny a bit of respite. He's not going to be under pressure from Monkey, at least for this lap. We're back underway, green flag racing. In fact, Silly Bunny's actually gained a little bit of time under the restart, as has Division. He's right on the back of Monkey now. Top Gooner gets past Entrusted on the restart, so he's up into P9. So yeah, Bunny, he got a good restart, but he's not really got the pace of Monkey in Division here, as Monkey's already gained a couple of tenths to him. But it's one thing to catch up to someone around here, it's another to overtake. It's easier to overtake than Monaco, obviously, with the straight being quite nicely positioned, but it's still not that easy. You're running pretty high wings here. I mean, I know pad users are looking at 11 wings as their sort of preferred choice. So it means that straight line speed isn't really something that you prioritise.
These
It
top
is
three are
overtaking at times can be
already
quite difficult.
starting to drop the rest of the field, Harry.
Yeah, Predator's nearly a second and a half back from division, but he's got a second to Eli Hamilton.
Oh, Sleevan's lost it, Harry.
Oh, but he's lost it. Yeah, I was just about to say Bunny is doing really well. He'd not lost too much time, but he loses it then round the final corner. I just saw it, just about caught it on
safety
camera.
car again.
And there's another safety car in this race. Whoa, it is. Well, that's the third safety car already, and we're 12 laps in. And it's really not been that messy. That's the weird thing. Like, it's just been 3 separate incidents here of drivers losing it, and it's been 3 safety cars. It's not like we've had a massive pile up or anything like that.
We have got the net order now, though. Obviously, with Silly Bunny crashing as he was the last driver who hadn't pitted in this race.
So yeah, this is your top 10 and your top 15 for that matter. Everyone has pitted. You've got 2 drivers entrusted and Callum on the medium compound tyres. So they're going to be looking to try and take them to the end, but that is a very tall order, as I believe entrusted just picked up a 3-second time penalty for it as well.
Yes.
That's ideal, and he's now got a drive through.
I'd be surprised if we see anyone pit apart from Callum entrusted, obviously on the mediums. I think everyone else will be able to take their odds to the end now. I think Predators, obviously he's done 10 laps on them now, but with this being the 3rd safety car that he's had them on for, he should be fine taking them to the end.
Actual race speed, he's done about 4 laps.
Oh, Monkey's got a drive through.
Monkey's got a drive through. Oh no! So this is now the 2nd time in this race, or 3rd, sorry, should I say, 3rd time in this race that the leader has made a fatal error, and that means that Division now will take the lead of this race, as Monkey will have to serve that drive-through, and he can't serve it under the safety car. So Monkey is going to end up right at the back of the field here after he serves that drive-through penalty. Entrusted is in the pits. He's probably going to go onto the hards. In fact, he could probably go onto another set of mediums now, which he has done, and take them to the end, albeit Entrusted does have a drive-through. But yeah, big news here then is that Monkey, your race leader, has picked up a drive-through penalty under the safety car, which is going to allow Division and then Predators and then Hamilton to be promoted up 1 place each, as will everyone really, but those 3 will be onto the podium. And Division, in terms of pace, has been showing really strong pace. Like Jam said earlier, his fastest lap is extremely quick compared to those around him, and it means that really Division's going to have a very strong chance now at the race win. Although we thought that about J. Darnell, and then we thought that about Monkey, and both of them have, although J. Darnell, not really his own fault, made mistakes which have led to them sort of relinquishing their race lead.
Yeah, it seems like the lead's a bit cursed at the moment. It's almost seeming like that's not the position you want to be in, and that P2 is the better position. But yeah, as you say, we've got Entrusted who went onto the medium, should be able to take them to the end, but obviously he has that drive-through. Liam up into a P4, a very strong drive from him. I've just seen Scott supporting him in the stream chat. Darnell will be moving up into P8. He's still got pace, obviously, Harry, as we saw. I wouldn't count Darnell out of sneaking his way onto the podium here. Sorry, I would not count out a surprise result from Jay Darnell. I think someone said earlier it would be a fairy tale result for him if he made it into the points again, or I think it was even the win. I think that might be a bit too far. Obviously, Division's looking quick as well, but yeah, if Darnell could get anywhere near that podium, I'm sure he'd be Uh, it would be a bit bittersweet, I think, because obviously he had the pace to win this race, I'm sure, but it'll be making the most out of a bad situation as we have been into the pits as well, going on to the mediums till the end.
Yeah, it could be a good stretch
Why
of
not?
two
He
there. The
wasn't in the
mediums.
points. Got to try it. I can't even
Yeah,
put
I
another
can't got
10
another
second
penalty.
penalty.
Oh, he's gonna have about 40 seconds now.
I
Yeah,
can't believe he's
mediums
not
going on
been
to mediums.
disqualified yet.
The mediums fresh can do easily the distance now. He should be
Yeah.
fine to go to the end. And in fact, if we have a well, the pace on the mediums, like Freeman said earlier, they're not actually too much slower than the softs here, and they are quite considerably faster than the hards. And so, going on to the mediums there could actually be a really smart strategy call here. iCallum's in a pretty good position on his mediums, albeit he does have about 3 years of penalties. And so I'm not sure it's really going to work out for him.
Yeah,
But,
we've got he's saying not to count out OMH either. He says he's got great pace, and he does. To be fair, he's got the second fastest lap out of anyone, and he's got no penalty so far. So OMH could be on to better his best ever result in SLR that he picked up last weekend. I believe it was a P5, but correct me if I'm wrong, as the safety car is in this lap.
5 or 6, yeah. Yeah, in terms of Jadon Nell, I mean, here you bite your hand off really to take a podium in this position after obviously
definitely
equipment issues after he rejoined. But it's going to be a question of how quickly, if at all, he can get through this traffic. Because obviously, all the while, whilst he's trying to navigate his way past the likes of Top Gunner and Callum McKeon and Clock, who aren't easy drivers to overtake, I'd expect Division to be pulling away. In fact, probably we'll see Predators and Hamilton joining him as well. Monkey's really back in the pack up here, but he's got a drive through, so all of this is really for little
I'm interested to see whether he'll come into the pit straight away or if he'll just try and pull out a bit of a gap. I think I'd be trying to pull out a gap, to be honest. Yeah, try and lose as little time as possible.
Yeah. Although he's going to be in a position now, if he has an instant with someone, then it's going to be a bit controversial here, because it could be argued that he could have served his drive-through penalty and not been in the way, but obviously he has got 3 laps to do so, and so obviously whilst he's able
Darnell and Guna,
to race.
That's big contact, Harry. Darnell into the wall. OMH slides through back past both of them into P8. OMH capitalising. Darnell moving back up into P9. Guna losing 2 positions.
Here. Darnell trying to go up the inside of OMH, cuts the corner and trying to do so, but it looks like OMH is just about going to hold on there. Yeah, interesting from Monkey to stay out, but obviously, like you say, he is going to try and pull a bit of a gap. All that battling there between Darnell and Guna, obviously allowing OMH through, but it does mean that already a bit of a gap has formed to Callum McKeon in 7th.
I think the gap will close up pretty quickly though.
Pulling away from Predators here, who's already just about out of the DRS range of Division. Hamilton is sticking pretty closely to the back of Predators whilst this is going on. I'd imagine Monkey will serve this drive-through at the latest possible chance, which will be in lap 17, on the end of lap 17.
OMH already close to that gap, Harry, to Callum McKeon.
On the restart, OMH has already closed that gap.
Apart from that
losing a bit of time though to the top 2.
Apart from that little bit of contact between Top Gunner and Darnell, it's been a pretty clean restart and everyone's pretty close together. Iceman Liam starting to
and Justin's been disqualified for ignoring his drive-through, so I wonder if he didn't actually know that he had the drive-through. We've seen that a few times this season, actually, where people haven't been sort of notified by the game that they've been given a drive-through penalty.
Hopefully for Monkey's sake,
that got one. I think one of the Renaults got one in Australia. I think it might have been SF in Australia. So it'll be interesting to see actually if Monkey knows whether he's got a drive-through or not.
Darnell battling. Sorry, Harry.
serve it. OMH and Darnell, as you say, were battling, but Darnell has got the move done. OMH having a look though around the outside at the Singapore Sling. Not the most orthodox place to try and pass, but he gave it a go. Darnell holds on though to P8 for now.
Hamilton goes to Predators as well.
Move his way back up the order. As you say, Hamilton is now right on the back of Predators. This has allowed Division and Monkey to pull away. Yeah, I mean, is DRS back enabled? I haven't seen a message saying that it has been. But I think once it has been, Predators is going to be under quite a bit of pressure here from EOR Hamilton.
Monkey pits for his drive-through.
Monkey does come in for his drive-through.
Oh,
as Hamilton picks up a penalty. Yeah, he picks up a penalty for his troubles as well, and he's got Iceman Liam right on the back of him now. So this battle for second place is really heating up here. It's a three-way battle at the moment between Predators, Hamilton and Liam. As we've got another couple of penalties there. Matt Beach, I think, got one, as well as drastic plays. So, I mean, considering the amount of penalties that we have seen being handed out here, it's really anyone's guess as to what the final order's going to be. We've got yellow flag sector 1. That is Matt Beach. Matt Beach has had an incident there in sector 1. I'm not entirely sure what it was, but he is he's ended up losing a lot of time here.
I can tell you one thing though, Harry. Jay Darnell is a man on a mission. He is all over the back of Callum McKeon. He's just trying to get past wherever he can. He's lost a bit of time. He's looking pretty laggy when I'm on board with him now. Obviously, that connection issue he had earlier hasn't completely rectified itself. Also, interesting to note, the Division just seems to be starting to pull away from Predators. So, yeah, bit of a gap from second, third, down to Liam in fourth as well. But I should imagine we'll still be seeing quite a lot of position changes in the remainder of this race, as we are only just over half distance.
Yeah, so Division has pulled away a couple of seconds now to Predators.
Oh, Darnell's lost it, Harry, sorry. And the OMH has hit him.
Oh, no. Oh, no,
he just
Darnell
went in too hot and hit the back of Callum McKeon.
Yeah, no, OMH has lost an end plate as well, so that's really unfortunate. That's really unfortunate for OMH, who has lost an M plate. So Darnell sort of been, well, I don't think he's quite got back into the rhythm perhaps that he obviously had. As Hamilton is right on the back of Predators. I wonder if we're going to see a move here for P2. I wonder if as well Predators knows that Hamilton has a penalty, because it might not be the worst decision to actually let Hamilton go and try and stick with him, because at the end of the race obviously Predators will be able to capitalise on that penalty, as Hamilton does make his way up the inside there of Predators. A fairly easy move. Predators giving him a lot of room there. Very respectful driving from the Red Bull driver there, as OMH is obviously really struggling now with that wing damage. It does mean that Bean is up into P10, so Bean on the mediums now into the points, and I wouldn't be surprised if he makes up a couple more positions before the end of this race, Jan, as he's in a really good position here on probably the favourable tyre compound.
Yeah, that's got to be pretty gutting for OMH though. He was getting himself into a really good position, and through no fault of his own he's been really unfortunate to pick up some damage there. Callum McKeon also right on the back of Clock for P5. Clock's going to be feeling the heat, I should think. Actually. Yeah, he's kept himself quiet, and he's looking to get a couple of here. Yeah,
and he's into P5, so solid 10 points it would be as it stands.
I was about to say we've missed Hamilton getting past Predators, but obviously we saw that at the start of this lap.
Yeah.
Oh no, back onto the back of Top Gunner as well. He's pushing really hard. You can see from the off-board shot that I've had around that final corner. He's really going for it.
As OMH pits, so he's obviously struggling with that damage. ICAM pits as well, so ICAM's coming in to serve one of his 4 10-second penalties. Monkey's going to move himself back up into 11th. So if there's another, another incident, Monkey could still see himself getting a couple of points here, perhaps. as he picked up another penalty though. I know he had one from earlier. Darnell looking at the inside of Top Gunner, but he's not quite close enough here.
We had
So
Liam
we've
looking at the
also
inside
had a
of
bit of an
Predators
incident.
as well,
Yeah,
Harry.
Liam and Predators have had a bit of a side-by-side moment, and it means that Predators lost a bit of time to Hamilton. He is still in the DRS range though. It was clean though, still I'd imagine.
No,
So, no one's really lost out too much from it.
Liam was never close enough to make a move. I think he was just having a look to see how Predators would defend it. Smart driving. You wanna. That's something Fernando Alonso, I think, used to do quite a lot. He'd sort of fake it on the inside just to try and force a driver in front into a mistake. But yeah, I think this is really just a battle for P2 now. I think Division is just looking to extend that gap. Yellow flag in sector 2.
Is that a Toro Rosso going slowly? I think it might be iCallum going slowly. Well, maybe not actually. I don't know quite what that was.
Jurassic Blaze, Harry. I think Jurassic Blaze might have damage.
Yeah. Oh, that could be the yellow flag then. Apologies to iCallum.
Yeah, he's missing an end plate.
I thought I could see him going slowly on the mini-map. But yeah, you're right. Jurassic Blaze then. He's obviously got some sort of damage. And
starting to pull away in P2 as well, Harry.
Jurassic Blaze pits. Interesting line into the pit lane, but yeah, Hamilton, like you say, is starting to pull away now. He is out of Predator's DRS range. It'll be interesting to see how much that gap increases over the duration of the next 11 laps, as Hamilton's got to pull 3 seconds to Predators to keep hold of that second place. As Iceman Liam looking at the inside of Predators. Ooh, bit of contact. Not really anything wrong there as Predators slides the back end through the next corner. I think Liam wasn't really alongside him. Had a little look at the inside. Predators, I don't think, was expecting Liam to make the move, and perhaps turned in slightly more than he would have done if Liam had been closer to him. Luckily, neither driver really lost too much from it, so it means that I wouldn't really expect to see any penalties or anything from that. Top Gunner getting a penalty, a 3-second time penalty. And that's really lost a lot of time to EOR Hamilton. Though Predators has basically lost twice as much time as what he had at the start of the lap to EOR Hamilton. It means that now really Hamilton's looking pretty strong for a P2, and now the battle is for third place, and there's 4 or 5 drivers now all within a shout of getting on the final podium position. It would be an absolutely stellar drive in this position from Predators if he can last the whole race distance. We've got yellow flags again in sector 2, but I still can't quite see what that's for. And while this is going on, Clock's got a little bit of a train behind him, and it means that Bean's actually starting to close them in. Obviously being on the medium compound tyres, that's going to be helping him. But this train is now sort of forming behind Predators. Like I said, it would be really impressive if he manages to hold off Liam for the next 11 laps.
I think Liam's just too far back this lap to make a move. Predators goes defensive, but yeah, Liam's just a bit too far back.
Thought better of it.
Top Gunner again, Harry.
Kind of a similar position actually to where he was last time, but this time didn't quite go for the move as Darnell gets round Top Gunner then.
Mitch got getting the fastest lap as well, Harry. So if he gets up into P10 at the moment, he'll be taking 2 points.
Bit of a damage limitation then, I guess, for him.
He definitely had the pace though.
Wasn't lucky to get caught up in that instant there with J Darnell spinning, or half spinning. We've got the Toro Rosso division. He's out in front. He is a long way ahead though, nearly 4 seconds now. Predators surprisingly haven't lost that much time to Hamilton, despite the fact that he's been under pressure from Liam. He's not lost as much time this lap as he did on the previous.
Hamilton's gap to division staying the same as well, Harry. Around the 4 second mark.
Actually nearly out of Liam's DRS as well, so Liam's doing well here to pull away from Clock. Liam obviously looking for a podium finish. Off the top of my head, I don't think he's had a podium finish this season, but I may be mistaken.
I don't believe so.
But once again, like last week, Liam in the Ferrari showing some really strong pace here, and I'd definitely like to see him on the podium. I mean, he's been very quick these last couple of weeks. He's lost a bit of time though to Predators on the last lap. He's quite low on the ERS actually, surprisingly. As is Predators. Singapore tends to be a track that's not too heavy on the ERS, although both of these guys here do seem to be running considerably low.
I think
sort of 20s.
I think Clock might just be playing it quite safe. I'm sure he'll be happy taking home 10 points and extending his gap at the top of the championship.
Oh,
Hamilton picked up another penalty.
Oh, so he's now got 6 seconds at least. So that could be really detrimental for his hopes of a P2 here. In fact, it could be really crucial if he can't even get 6 seconds to Liam as well. That could see him lose out a podium without even really losing it on track. Division is, I think, it's being held up a little bit there by traffic in the final sector. Or no, that's iCallum actually. That's iCallum and that beach battling there. So nothing too wrong with that. As Bean, in fact, has now caught up to the back of this train then. So it's only taken him a couple of laps to gain the 3 seconds required to catch up to the back of the train here. And he is on mediums, so he's going to have the advantage in outright traction, being on the soft compound tyres, and Top Gooner is starting to lose a bit of time.
Darnell's going to go for a move, sorry Harry, on Callum McKeon.
Yeah, Darnell looking for a move. Yep, up the inside into turn 1. Just about gets it done. Yeah, nice move then from Darnell. Gooner's actually outside of Callum McKeon's DRS, so if Bean's got the DRS on Gooner, which he will do, and gets a good run out of this corner, we could see Bean moving up into P8.
Bean's sending a medium ERS though. If he'd put it up to overtake, he would have made the move.
Yeah, he's not managed to get past.
He's missed the trick there.
Really low on the ERS. As Hamilton has actually managed to close in the gap to division slightly. It's only a few tenths, bear in mind, but still, I'm sure he won't be too disappointed with that. He's obviously got some good pace here, Hamilton, but he's got a couple of penalties now at least, as we see in the distance. iCallum allowing his teammate through. So, in terms of the
dropping off this train now as well, Harry.
Yeah, Top Gooner is dropping off. So we've got your top 3 at the moment: Division, EOR Hamilton, and then Aero Predators. Predators being put under considerable pressure here from Liam for the last sort of 5 or 6 laps, but he's managed to stay ahead at the moment. Then there's a bit of a train then from Predators down to J. Darnell. J. Darnell, obviously the pole sitter, had a bit of an equipment malfunction after a disconnection, but he's managed to fight his way back up to P6. Callum
getting a bit
on
loose
the back of this train. Yeah, Liam losing a tiny bit of time here to Predators, so Predators not under pressure quite as much on the start-finish straight here. So we've got Top Gooner as well. He's lost a little bit of time to this group of cars, and Bean was behind him on mediums.
Watch out for Darnell on clock
Although
as
Bean's
well.
made a mistake, actually Jam, Bean's made a mistake out of turn 1. He's lost a lot of time here out of turn 1. Liam now on the back of Predators. Predators covers the inside this time, but Liam's going round the outside. Predators trying to hold it on the inside, but Liam is through. So Iceman Liam then up into P3 here for the Singapore Grand Prix. And now if you're Predators, Liam did seem slightly faster than him. So Predators could be clever and try and use Liam to pull him along and get them both back into the 6-second window of Hamilton. That would mean that they'd both be on the podium here, but at the moment Hamilton is really pulling away. So he's evidently got really strong pace here. But if he picks up another penalty, then that could really be crucial for him.
Yeah, just while that was happening, Harry, Monkey pitted from P10 for a set of mediums. So that's allowed OMH back up into the points. So I believe he's still got the fastest lap as well. So that'll be 2 points for him. Yeah, Hamilton losing a bit of time now to Division. He has got that gap down to about 3.3 seconds. It's now back up to about 4. Yeah, Bean starting to close that gap in again on Top Gunner, but I should think Liam will be trying to break away from Predators if possible.
bit of a train. Darnell having a little look at the inside of clock into turn 1, but the move was never on. They are actually losing a bit of time here to Hamilton, so unless Hamilton picks up another penalty, he will get P2 in this race, or if he makes a mistake. Predator's now then on the back of Liam. I don't think he's going to be close enough to make the move this lap, but if he can stick with him, he could have a go next lap if he's slightly closer. Callum pits from last, comes out on the soft compound tyres, so he's obviously going to look to try and set the fastest lap here. As James mentioned, OMH will be getting a couple of points as it stands, as he's got the fastest lap as well as being in P10. Bean made a bit of a mistake.
He's pitted again.
That's allowed OMH through. I wonder if Monkey's now going to pit for softs as well.
Oh, don't know if he's
Bean
hit by Callum McKeon. Sorry, Harry, at the hairpin.
Oh yeah, he's lost a lot of time. He's got I thought he had damage. He hasn't got damage, but he has lost a lot of time. Like
After that, we hit the inside wall. I didn't really catch it.
If we hit the inside wall, I'd imagine he got damage, but no.
Might have hit it with his rear tyre.
He doesn't seem to. Yellow flag set to 2. I don't know quite what that's for. Bean has now once again caught right up to the back of Top Gooner, so he's managed to catch 2.5 seconds in the space of about 3 corners there. So Bean driving really well on those medium compound tyres. Predators still on the back of Liam. The gap's not terribly close. Callum McKeon, Top Gooner in the background, just losing it out of the final corner. So Top Gooner out of this race, losing it on the exit of the final corner. Bean is now on the back of Callum McKeon, so we could see Bean moving up into P7. Predators now with the DRS on Liam. Is he going to look for the move? Dives at the inside, not quite close enough, backs out of it. Good driving from the pair of them there. Liam left in the room, but once he saw that Predators wasn't going for it, Liam took the racing line, as he was rightfully allowed to do. Callum McKeon has lost a bit of time here. I wonder if he's missing an end plate. Yeah, he is. He's missing his front left end plate here. So he's got Bean on the back of him. Bean also on the medium, so he's got the tyre advantage. And we've still got this train then. Formed Liam to Darnell now, as a couple of drivers have backed off the back of it. And that is something that, Monkey has got another penalty. That's something that you're going to start to see, I think. Drivers maybe struggling a little bit for grip on the rear tyres, as they have driven a considerable amount of laps now on these tyres. I mean, you're looking at Predators and Darnell, they've both done over 20 laps on the hards. The rears are going to be in a bit worse for wear at this moment in the race. Hamilton has really pulled away though from this group, and despite not really gaining time to division, he has cemented himself in P2.
Callum McKeon's pitted, Harry. So Bean's up into 7th. That will put OMH up into 8th, I believe. Callum McKeon will obviously go to softs at the end. You should think it'll be an interesting call if he doesn't.
Yeah, I think he should just about come out in P9, but
I don't think he'll gain any more.
No, I don't think he is. I don't think he's going to go out. He'll come out in P10 though, as iCallum's a lap down, so he's going to get a point then, hopefully, for his sake. So despite all these sort of position changes going on around him, Clock has remained in P5 here, I think pretty much the whole race. He's driving a solid race though, doing exactly what he needs to do. I mean, he's going to extend his championship lead as it stands, so you can't really have too many complaints. Jadon Hell having a little look at the inside there into the hairpin. Thinks better of it though, as he wasn't really close enough to go for the move, and Clock was perfectly entitled there to take the racing line. Freeman is predicting Callum to get the fastest lap.
Monkey's just taken it.
Scott is also congratulating Bean, SLR Bean, on a great race. He's come right through from the back. He's up into P7 now. And this is probably a good time to ask for your driver of the day?
Do you know what? I was about to say the
You
exact
can
same
get
thing.
voting in the chat, please. That would be much appreciated, as Liam has actually pulled out of Predator's DRS now, so we could see a change in position here within the top 4, as Clock is now on the back of Predators. I'll go on board with Clock.
We've got Truman and Scott both saying
right?
either Liam or Bean. Darnell voting for Jay Darnell, so a bit of the brotherly love. Beast says Liam. Steve says Liam, so it looks like it's going to be Liam at the moment. I think for me, my driver of the day is, yeah, probably Liam as well. He's had a very good race, and if he can take a podium here, that would be a great result for him, and a great result for Ferrari, who've struggled quite a bit this season. Chris says, I think that's supposed to be Predators. Yes, it is. Chris says Predators for driver of the day. I think he's a pretty strong shout as well. I'd say Liam, Predators and Bean have been some of the standout performers.
Predators obviously did quite an interesting strategy call, pitting on the first lap for the hards, but he's looking to try and take these hards the whole distance here, which would be pretty impressive, it has to be said. I think if Bean had pitted on the first time of asking under that safety car, he would have been in a really good position. I'm not sure if he would have been in a better position, but I don't know, maybe it wasn't ideal for him, but he has fought his way back up into P7, so a very strong drive from him. But I'd have to agree with the majority of the chat. I mean, Hamilton's driven a good race as well, but considering Liam last week was unlucky not to get a podium, and now he's carrying on really from where he left off at Italy. He's had a really strong drive again. Good battle with Predators as well. Did eventually make his way past him, and he's been really strong pace wise throughout this race, as Callum McKeon has picked up.
I think for me, whoever out of Liam and Predators takes his final podium position, because obviously we don't know the penalty situation. I think, whoever out of them takes that podium place would be my driver of the day personally. But
yeah, I'm just going to
Clock's close to the back of Predators as well,
because Division hasn't really had much of the stream here today, but that's because really he's had a very controlling drive out in front, no one challenging him, so we've not really had too much of a reason to go on board with him. But Beast as well in the chat actually, very well timed, also saying that Preds would be a close second for his driver of the day, but Division also honourable mention to him, because ever since Monkey got that drive through, he's taken the lead of this race and never looked back really. Albeit there are still a couple of laps left, so I don't want to jinx it, but he is out in front, as he did get a bit loose on the back end there through the final corner. Merckx as well saying Predators for driver of the day, so you might have to get your fingers out here, Jam, and start counting up who's got how many votes, as I've sort of lost count myself. Predators is still under pressure from Clock, so he was under pressure from Liam for about 6 or 7 laps, and now he's under pressure from Clock, but Clock's picked up a penalty. Ooh, that could be crucial for him. Jay Darnell has really dropped off the back of Visa. I wonder if he's maybe going to try and go for the fastest lap in some clean air, or if he's made a mistake or got some damage. In fact, he has got damage. He's missing an M plate, so that would explain why Jay Darnell has dropped off. Clock up the inside of Predators. He gets the move done, but I think if Predators doesn't have a penalty, maybe you just let Clock through there, because Clock would do well to pull 3 seconds in the one lap.
Could that be the move
that
loses Predators a podium, though? Obviously, we don't know the penalty situation. I don't believe Liam picks up one, but potentially, of course. He's definitely lost in P4 for the moment, as Icon picks up another 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. I'm absolutely amazed as to how he hasn't been disqualified. But we've got Darnell. Amico is saying that Darnell has driven so hard his tyres must be shot as well. Yeah, he was definitely pushing, we could see, towards the end of this race. As Monkey retired,
must be frustrated with that.
So though,
obviously Darnell as well, another driver frustrated with obviously having that equipment malfunction after he disconnected. I mean, he was looking really strong to take the win, but unfortunately it just wasn't meant to be here, as he's missed out for the second week in a row really on a very good chance at a race victory. As I'm going to go again on board with the race leader, as no one's particularly close to anyone else on track. So we'll stay on board with
very loose. Almost put it in
for the final lap. Is Predator's close enough to go for a move?
No, he's out of his DRS, I think.
Okay,
he's just got it, but he's a second behind him.
On board, yeah. B's saying Clock's going for it now that he's got that penalty. I wouldn't be surprised. Obviously, he's got to try and push now. Division though, just on board with him. He looks so in control here. It's almost effortless, really. I mean, he's gaining time on Hamilton despite being in no ERS. It just seems so smooth here and stable. And if this is what he's been driving like the whole race, then I've got no surprises really that he is going to be taking the win here. He's in fact 0.3 up on his fastest lap as well, so he's obviously still got something in reserve here. But rounding the final few corners then to take his debut win, his first win here in SLR, it's going to be Division, rounding the final corner to take the win at Singapore. The fireworks are going to be going off as he slides around the final corner. He bins it on the line in celebration more than anything. Hamilton in P2, strong drive from him, and as the fireworks go off, it's going to be Iceman Liam here to take P3. But it's a very strong drive from him. Clock fourth, Predator's fifth, so Predators did have a penalty. J. Darnell is in sixth, crosses the line P6. Bean crosses the line 7th, but he goes up to 6th, so very strong drive from Bean, up 14 positions. OMH in 8th. I don't quite know who got the fastest lap, but there you go.
Predator's got a penalty on the last lap, Harry, and that cost him a podium.
Oh no, what a shame. Yeah, that lost him a podium. Oh, that is rotten luck.
But nevertheless, on the contrary, Liam, I believe
that's
his first podium of the season. It might be his first podium in SLR, but either way, a very good drive from him, and I think that sealed my driver of the day vote. It definitely goes to Iceman Liam, and I think quite a few people agree with me. Clock P4, yeah, great for his championship hopes. Obviously, Crispy retiring and Beast not starting this event.
Yeah, so Jurassic Blaze then in the final points paying position. Callum then, he's the final driver to cross the line. He's just in the final sector now. I think he's having a bit of fun with it. He's weaving around, he's cutting all the corners, he's trying to get that penalty record, I think, as he drums across the line here.
I think it's impossible for him to get this qualified.
First and one Toro Rosso in the final finishing position. Callum across the line 12th, but it is Division to take his first win in SLR here with a pretty dominant display around Singapore. Second was EOR Hamilton. He was unlucky to miss out on a podium last week, and he's made up for it here with a P2, as was the third place driver, that being Iceman Liam. He picked up a podium as well, and I believe his first of the season, but I may be wrong with that. And if you could, please, James, could you get the top 3 into the pipe?
I can. I'll just add them from the screen, that'll be quicker.
Wow, yeah, so Division takes the win. 39.3 on the final lap as well. Second, EOR Hamilton. Third, Iceman Liam. Clock came home 4th in the end, so he's extended his championship lead. Fairly quiet afternoon for him, but still solid drive. Predators unfortunately picking up that penalty on the last lap. That meant that he lost out on the chance for a podium. Bean came home in sixth after qualifying down, or well, not even qualifying, as he had a quali ban. So from last to sixth, very good driving from him. Jay Darnell recovered to P7. That's all our time for. But we have got at least a few of these drivers in the party. We have got the second and third place drivers in the party. I don't know if Division will be able to join, but in the
I'll
meantime,
try, mate.
Jan, I'll let you conduct the podium interviews.
Here we go. So, can you just all make sure that you have ticked your box, please, guys, so the stream can hear you as well. But we will start with our third place driver today. For Ferrari, Iceman Liam. I believe that's Ferrari's first podium of the season, and I believe that's your first podium of the season. But correct me if I'm wrong. Either way,
second.
second of the
Second,
season.
there we go.
Yeah.
Either way, though, a very good race from you. Starting, I believe, P6, P7.
I think P9. I think.
Oh, P9.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course,
Yeah.
yeah, because you hit the wall
Messed
on your
up my
final
last
quali
run.
one.
Yeah.
Run, yeah. But a great strategy from you. You obviously had some good pace in the race, kept it clean, kept out of trouble, and brought home a very good result. Picked up that penalty. We missed it on the stream, so we had no idea. But you made the move that you needed to past Preds. So if you
Yeah.
just wanna talk us through your race, obviously a very good drive from yourself.
Yeah, thanks. It was kind of quiet to start off with, and just get going at it with all the safety cars, and then under VSC, I think I actually damaged Clock's wing a bit, but I'm not sure. So I'm sorry if I did that. But then President made me work for that third place, but finally got it done. Went for one, and he spun me out, but got it done second time.
Yeah, it looked close on the stream. We thought maybe Preds left you just enough room, but I'm sure you won't be too bothered at the end of the day. Obviously, you made the move and you got the podium.
Yeah, it's done now.
We'll move on to our second place driver. I'm not actually too sure if Hamilton's full time or not, but either way, P2, first podium for you in SLR. How are you feeling after that one, mate? It looked pretty quiet for you, but you got the job done.
Yeah, first race as a full-time driver. So didn't really expect it with the way practices were going this week. Was just struggling all week with tyre temps. But luckily kept out all the troubles, and then pitted at the right time with safety cars, and then managed to get Predators when I did, and then just pulled a gap out, and then I knew I wouldn't get division, because I knew it was just too quick through the last sector, and then I had penalties. So I just pushed and pushed, tried to keep the gap to second, third, to get second really. And it was quite a race to be fair.
Yeah, well done, mate. Obviously good for us Renault boys, getting some good points for the constructors.
Yeah.
So, last but not least, we will move on to our race winner for today, division in the Toro Rosso. Once Monkey had that drive-through under the safety car, you never really looked back, mate. And to be honest, you just looked comfortable out in the lead. No one ever got near you after that. Just talk us through it. It looked like a pretty dominant drive from yourself.
Yeah, I wasn't really aiming to get first place because Darnell was really quick in qualifying. And something happened to his car, I don't know. But then we found ourselves in P2, and Monkey didn't get a drive. So then it was just all in my own race. Went pretty well. Especially now it's my first win.
Yeah, very good job. First win, obviously. A great feeling, and that's good points for Toro Rosso. If you're a full-time driver, I think you are.
Yeah, since 2 races now.
Yeah, okay. Just gets a bit confusing with all these Div 2 reserves. But yeah, either way, closing the gap to Renault a bit in the joint constructors. Obviously, 2 races still to go in this weekend. But either way, I'll let Harry just finish off the stream for today. But just want to say well done to all of our podium finishers on a great race.
Yeah, I'd just like to also point out, Liam, you got driver of the day as well, mate. So good,
Yeah, that's
good
good.
job on that. Well deserved as well. And then also finally, thank you to all the drivers who sported a vibrant helmet in support of all the uh, all of the NHS and key workers here in the UK. Something obviously at SLR we're going to try and promote with the platform that we have. And that is pretty much it for tonight. Hope you can join us tomorrow at 9 o'clock as well for Division 3, and then on Sunday at 7 for Division 1, where myself and Jan will be racing. And that is it for tonight then. So the Singapore Grand Prix here won in dominant fashion by division, and then behind was Hamilton and Liam. So thank you and good night.